Hey everyone, welcome back to Literally What, and welcome to our final episode of 2024. I am so excited to be going into 2025 with you guys. I can't believe we are here at the end of the year. And I remember back in 2023 when I did my final episode of that year, and I think at that point I'd only done about 9 or 10 episodes. And it was so fun just recapping the year 2023, and I wanted to follow that with this year's episode. This is going to be a little bit different than my past episodes, but I think it's going to be a really fun one, and you guys are going to really, really enjoy it. Even if you haven't listened to any of my past episodes on this podcast, it's always fun to just kind of recap the year, be reminded of some funny things that happened, some crazy things that happened, and just kind of reminisce on the entire year. Honestly, it's one of my favorite things to do. So anyway, I just wanted to say thank you again for anyone who has listened this year. If you've listened once, if you listened to every single one, it means so much to me. And it's something I have loved doing. I've been doing it now, I guess, over a year, and I still love it more and more every single week I do it. It is the highlight of my week. It's something I am going to continue doing. And so just thank you to anyone who has listened. And if you're tuning in just today, I just am so excited you're here. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and I hope you had an amazing holiday season and that you are gearing up for the next year. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and jump into some hot gossip, hot takes, stories, and advice that will have you saying, literally what? Literally what? All right, so a little bit of a layout of how this episode is going to go. If you haven't listened to last year's, I highly recommend. It's really funny. I was listening back to it the other day, and I forgot so many things that happened in the year 2023. So I will somehow link either the date it was posted or the title. Maybe I can link the actual YouTube or Spotify. I'll link it on my Instagram, actually. That's probably easiest, and you can go back and watch that. But basically what I wanted to do this episode is I want to start off by going through all of my favorite stories we talked about. So I picked a few stories from each month, and we're just going to kind of reminisce and be reminded of what was going on this past year. And a lot of them I totally forgot about, and some of them happened way earlier in the year and are still being talked about now, or maybe one of the stories, a little bit more was added on. So it was really fun to kind of go through and pick out what I wanted to reminisce on, story, pop culture, celebrity-wise. And then this is what I did last year. I went through and talked about all of the top Amazon products, the top books, the top TV shows, movies, celebrities who broke up, celebrities who got together. So that's always fun as kind of just as a whole, what society was really loving. And it's really fun to kind of look back. So that's what we have to look forward to this episode. I really hope you guys like it. And I had so much fun putting it together. It was a lot of fun for me. So hopefully it's even more fun for you guys to listen to. And it would not be an episode without Waffles putting his little head in the camera. But before we get into all of the pop culture stuff, I just wanted to say again, I hope everyone had an amazing holiday season. Me and my husband were able to go up and see our families for Christmas, and it was so much fun. We also saw some of our really good childhood friends. They always throw a Christmas Eve party, and we didn't go last year, and everyone was FaceTiming us and was like, we miss you, blah, blah, blah. And so we made sure to be like, we're going next year, because ever since, I don't even remember how many years I've been going to it, but it's the highlight of my Christmas season is just going to the party and seeing everyone. And I love tradition. I love things that you always have to look forward to. And so that was definitely one of the highlights of my trip. And my biggest highlight and my, best present, you could say, is from my amazing, lovely, beautiful sister. And one thing about my sister is she and I are so very different. And I'm a very physical touch person. Like, I am just very, I want to hug you, just be always touching, blah, blah, blah. And she is not like that at all. She is not touchy. But one thing she is very amazing and good at is showing her love to me through gifts. Not that I need gifts to feel loved, but she does very well in any gift she gives me. She just knows me, and she knows my deepest, darkest secrets in my soul. For my birthday one year, she got me a little book imprint. So whenever I finish a book, it's personalized to me, and it says from the Library of Taylor. The best gift I have ever gotten, just so meaningful. And then this year, she was so sweet And she found, if you have already kind of noticed it in the frame, she found the limited edition Glinda Hot Pink Sparkly Stanley. You guys, she said it was the last one. She had to go to this random Target to find it. And I mean, if you know me, this is just the perfect gift. And it's not even, like, I don't even ask for anything. I never have a list. She just knows. And because this wasn't enough, she put something on the inside. And if you've been watching this podcast, you know one of our favorite shows to recap is Dancing with the Stars. And we are going to Dancing with the Stars live in February. I am beyond words excited. I would have never, that is something that wouldn't even cross my mind to ask for, let alone, you know, think that anyone would get that for me. And so she just went above and beyond, and I'm just so grateful to her. So such an amazing Christmas. But I had to tell you guys because Dancing with the Stars has been our thing, and the most recent show we recapped together. So I am just so excited, and thank you to her because she's just the best. And I'm not a big bragger, but I had to brag on that and on her because she just deserves it. She's the best. But had a great Christmas, and then of course came back home. And you know, I always say December 26th is a very, very sad day because the holiday season is over. But the older I've gotten, the more I have learned to appreciate the week in between Christmas and New Year's. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about this week that we have in between and kind of give you guys some advice, some things that I'm doing this year, some things that I like to do just to kind of reset and gear up for the next year. And so I think this week, it's a very important and critical week. And so instead of, you know, I'm sure everyone just kind of wants to sit around and be lazy and, you know, put off putting away your Christmas gifts and Christmas decorations. But I encourage you guys to at least take a couple things off of this list to really get you set up for the new year. And I wrote it down so I wouldn't forget everything. But the first thing is make a content plate. And this is something I do pretty often. But basically, you're going to kind of either get a notebook or just use your phone or, you know, get a literal paper plate and put stuff on it. I don't know how you want to do it. But I gather a list of any TV show I'm trying to finish, any book that I need to read, any YouTube video I want to watch, a podcast episode that I have written down that I need to listen to, things that you don't normally have time to do content-wise, and start like taking things off of your plate. So for me, on my content plate, I am needing to finish Gilmore Girls. I think I have a season and a half left, and so I'm making sure that I want to finish that before I go into the new year because, you know, I have a whole other list of things I want to do in the new year. So that's kind of been my end of 2024. I was watching it and rewatching, and then I kind of put it on the back burner. So I know in the back of my head when I want on a background show to just kind of put that on so I can finish it, check it off my list. There was also another Frida McFadden book I wanted to read. There was a podcast that I have been meaning to listen to. So just if there's anything content-wise that you've been putting off that you haven't had time for, write it down and just kind of check them off of your list. So then you can kind of have your empty content plate going into 2025. And then what I do is any new show, podcast, whatever I want to see, I start a new content plate. So just kind of finishing off your content plate. I know it's a weird concept, but I have been doing this forever, and it's just fun to kind of keep track of things that I want to, you know, listen to or watch or whatever. The next thing is try to complete one little home project. It's going to just help you feel a lot more accomplished within this 1 week. So for me, I have been dying to mount our TV, and we attempted to mount it, but the screws we got were too long because our walls, since they're like Hurricane Florida walls, you can't really put something in really deep in there. So it didn't work, and we're trying to find alternatives to mount the TV. I've been doing a declutter little vibe during the month of December, and I've been decluttering really well, but everything that I don't want in the room or area I'm decluttering, I've thrown into my guest room. And if you guys have seen my guest room, it's so bad. It's so bad. And I am needing to check that off the list. So that's going to be my other little home project, I guess you could say. And then my other one, I don't know if I'll get to it, but I want to hang curtains in certain areas. I just always put it off. So I have a few little projects I could be doing. So just kind of make a list, check one off, and you're just going to feel a lot better about yourself going into that new year. Next one is I love to have a super big calendar, and I always used to have planners in school, and I would write, my day to day and my every hour, what I'm going to do. Just don't. I mean, that's way too crazy. But what I do is I just get a really big calendar, and I just fill in any big dates. So big birthdays. My sister's graduating, so I'm going to put that in. What else? Just major holidays. If I know I have a trip, like obviously Dancing with the Stars Live, I'm going to put on. So any big dates, just fill out the whole year. So that you kind of know ahead of time what your year is somewhat going to look like. And it's just a lot easier to kind of plan a little bit more. Just kind of see, what you have going on in the new year, And then what else? Okay, this last one. And this is something that, I want to do. Will I do it? We don't know. I like to make these big ideas in my head and never really follow through. But I really do want to follow through on this one. But that is doing a 2025 journal. So this is not just typical journaling. I've been seeing this everywhere. It's also kind of called like a junk journal. But basically, the front page, you put a picture of yourself, what you look like at the beginning of the year. And then you also write a letter to yourself that you're going to open in 2026. And then throughout the year, you just and you can tailor it to whatever you want. But I'm going to have a vision board of what I kind of been looking for in 2025. And then I'm going to throughout the year just kind of write in things like what books I've read and my ratings of them, what movies or TV shows I read that year, what are my favorite foods, what perfume am I wearing that year, and just it's going to be nice because we all know I'm a nostalgic person, but just to have something to look back on and see what my favorite things were. Maybe my favorite color, kind of like, how you see parents when their kids are going into preschool or kindergarten, they have those little chalkboards with, what they want to be, what their favorite hobbies are, their favorite color, and then you kind of look back over the years. So kind of like that, but in a more adult way. So, just kind of what your 2025 is looking like. And that's all I have for your, planning your week in between. Obviously, by the time this episode goes up, I think we only have like 3 or 4 days, but, you can get a lot done if you put your mind to it. But again, going into 2025, New Year's resolutions. I think last year I had this whole list of resolutions, and a lot of them I did follow through with. I did get back into reading, and that is something that has dramatically just changed. Not maybe my brain, I don't know, but it's just been something that I used to love as a child, and now that I'm reading again, I passed the goal I had for myself of books to read. So that was really exciting for me. But going into 2025, I'm turning 25, first of all, and that has been a big stressor for me. I've been very anxious about it, very just freaking out about how fast time and life is flying by. And so for me, for this year, 2025, really for me, I'm just trying to enjoy this year. I don't want to put any pressure on myself. I want to just be more present and not focus so much on the future, because I feel like I do that a lot, and then the year goes by or the days go by and I'm like, where did time go? So I'm really trying to focus on being more present with myself, obviously with the journal that I'm hoping to do. Just take a lot more pictures, write a lot more, just for memories to look back on and really enjoy. Again, just enjoy the year and try to enjoy being 25. So I'm not setting any New Year's resolutions per se, but I'm definitely going in with peace of mind that I'm really going to enjoy this year. Some things I do want to do, obviously I want to continue reading a lot more books. That is something that I think has really helped me, especially with just like my anxiety and all of that. Just reading has been such a relaxer for me and just been really enjoyable. And also, having friends that you're reading books with is also so exciting. So maybe, I say I get a couple months into the year and maybe I join a book club or something. Like, I don't know, just something reading wise. And another thing I've been toying with, I've been really flirting with the thought of sobriety. Not that I ever think I could be 100% sober, because I do love a good dirty martini, but I have just been getting so much information on my phone about how bad alcohol is and how it is a poison, it is a toxin, it's increasing people's risk for cancer, dementia, like my anxiety. Alcohol can increase your anxiety, even though you think it, helps, it really increases it. So I've been flirting with the idea. I'm definitely doing dry January. I did this last year in 2023. And when I tell you guys, that was the best month of my life. My face looked amazing. I wasn't breaking out. I felt amazing. I had so much energy. I was waking up super early, ready to go. So definitely doing dry January. And then I'm also going to just order a few books about sobriety, about alcohol, because I just want to learn more. And I think definitely going to be cutting back on the alcohol. But I definitely just want to learn a lot more about that and about my health, because the things I've been seeing, I mean, it's literally like killing our brains. I'm not even kidding. Like, look this stuff up. It's kind of scary. And this one doctor was saying even just like a month, 2 months, it can help kind of put your liver and your brain kind of back together in a way. So scary stuff, but I'm excited to see, if I notice, is that the word? Just any benefits health-wise, mentally, physically. So definitely toying with that in 2025. And those are really just the two big things for me, I think. And decluttering, but I'm trying to get that all done before 2025. Anyway, I'm excited for the year. I think it's going to be a really good year. Obviously, this past year, we were married, we moved on to Florida. It was like a lot of change, and I just want to embrace this year and not wish this year to like fly by. You know what I mean? I want to enjoy this year and not put pressure on myself. And obviously the podcast, I want to put a lot more work into. So I guess you could say the year of me, honestly. Yeah, but that is how my 2025 is going to be looking like. Nothing crazy over here resolution-wise, just some reading and just kind of bettering my body and my brain. Because I just feel like, especially just, we don't talk a lot about, things that are so normalized in this world but are actually really bad for us. And again, not saying alcohol is bad. Like, I still love it. But, just learning more about what it does and learning more about my body and my brain, all of that, I think is something I want to look into. Because even though I am 25 and I feel like that's the end of the world, I know it's still young, and this is the time to really set myself up for, when I am getting older. So really focusing on that. That was a long-winded answer. I know you guys just probably are here for all of the stories. So anyway, let's get into our 2024 best pop culture stories of each month. And I'm going to take a sip out of my super adorable limited edition cup that no one else can get. And we will just get started. So starting off strong at the beginning of the year, we had Wicked, the movie, who completed their filming. And obviously it has now come out in theaters. And we actually, I don't know if we talked about this last week, but Wicked is coming out December 31st, I believe. So you are able to rent or buy it, which I think is so exciting, because going to the theater is so fun, but it also is just so much work, especially the thought of not being able to go up and pee during the movie seems like a lot. So I am very excited to finally be able to see it at home in the comfort of my home, even though I know there is no experience like a theater. But that happened in January. And then heading into the month of February, we had Universal announce all of their new parks they're going to be doing, which I am insanely excited about. I cannot wait for that. And then that was also the month we had the Super Bowl, which was the 49ers and Chiefs. And no surprise, the Chiefs won. And I wonder who's going to win this year or even be in the Super Bowl. I'm actually kind of excited to see. And I remember last year, I had that theory of the logo being the colors of the team that would make it. I don't think I was right, but I need to look this year to see how that goes. And then we also had the Quiet on Set documentary with Dan Schneider come out, and all of the Nickelodeon stuff and about how freaky he was and how gross he was and just how mean he was to the kids and the employees. That all came out. That was also really crazy because there have always been rumors, again, about Dan Schneider, but no one was talking about it. And then we had this whole documentary come out. Crazy. And then the last thing for the month of February, we learned about Bridget Mendler and how she's literally the smartest human being and how she has a space startup now. And she also has her master's. She also went to law school. Like, this girl, when this came out, I was in shock. She is amazing. Go Bridget Mendler. All right, going into the month of March, this was probably my favorite month for stories. These stories were so unhinged and crazy. We had the whole Willy Wonka Chocolate Factory fail, which was, that might have to be my number one story of 2024 that we talked about, because what the heck even was that? That was a great episode if you haven't listened to that one. And then we also had Risa Tisa, our girl, her little Who the F Did I Marry TikTok series went viral. And we also learned that she was going to get a TV adaptation about it. So that was also one of my favorite stories and things to come out in 2024. We also had JoJo Siwa, who was teasing her new era that was not for kids. And we had her Karma's a Bitch song, and we had her weird outfits. And, you know, she tried and she failed, but we got good laughs and we got good memes out of that. And then in the month of April, we had Vanessa Hudgens and Ashley Tisdale, who were pregnant at the exact same time, which I just think is so adorable and made my child heart melt. Like, Vanessa, you mean Gabriella and Sharpay are pregnant at the same time? Hello. We also had the Bachelor finale where Kelsey won The Bachelor with Joey. Love them, obsessed with them. We also had Morgan Wallen arrested for throwing a chair off a bar roof. I hate him. I still hate him. Don't hate him as much as Zach Bryan. And we also have updates with the Morgan Wallen about how he pled guilty or something, and now he's doing community service. I think he had to go to some like recovery help center. I don't really know, but that was that. We also had in the month of May the Dance Moms reunion. Obviously, Maddie and Mackenzie were not there. Is her name Maddie? No, Maddie Mackenzie. I literally said that right, didn't I? Okay, my brain. But they were not there, but all the other girls were there, and that was really interesting. Not as exciting and juicy as I thought it would be, but still kind of cool to see all the gals together. But we had the Drake and Kendrick Lamar diss track whole drama, which I loved all that because we got some bangers out of this era. Am I right? We also learned that Justin and Haley were pregnant in the month of May. And this was also when Taylor Swift did her whole new era and added it to the tour. So everyone who went to the first, half of the shows got, one show, and then the second was all different, and they took out some songs, and which I will say, the one thing that I was upset about, my favorite one she sang that she took out of the second, it was on Folklore, Last Great American Dynasty. That was like my favorite thing that when I saw on TikTok, like my favorite little performance they did, and she took it out, and I was and Tolerate It. Yeah, he's annoyed about it too. But also like the Eras tour, I felt like that went on the whole forever. My gosh. We also had the man who was kind of responsible for that whole is the dress black or blue or white or whatever. He pled guilty to attacking his wife. Okay. And then we also have Vanessa Hudgens, who won The Masked Singer season 11, which was so crazy. I need to get back into watching that show because I feel like there's so many good celebrities who are on it. So then in the month of June, there were a lot of babies this year. Oh my goodness. Trisha Paytas gave birth to her second baby, who was named Elvis. And then we also had Gossip Girl star Taylor Momsen, who was bit by a bat while she was singing on stage. That was really funny. What a great story. We also had all the shark attacks happen in Florida. That was really scary. And that's when we had our friends come down to stay with us. And I was really scared to get in the water. And then there was actually what looked like a shark in the ocean with us, but I think it turned out to be a dolphin. I don't really know. All I know is we were in there, and then we never went back in the ocean after that. What else? We also had Post Malone announce his tour and his F1 Trillion new album. And fast forward, he's now announced his second big ass stadium tour with Jelly Roll and Sierra. And we also went to his F1 Trillion tour in, what month was that? I don't remember, but big year for Post Malone. So that was great for me. What else? The month of July, another pregnancy. Oh my gosh, what the heck is up with everyone this year? But we had Margot Robbie and Lindsay Hubbard from Summer House who announced their pregnancies. We also had the whole Hawk Tuah crap. And this was the month where she had her first paid appearance in a Miami Dolphins jersey and was crying. And, now I heard something about she did some crypto coin, and now she's going to jail. Does anyone know what's going on with that? I don't know. And then we also had Love Island. I mean, that feels like forever ago, but that was the best season of Love Island. And we had the finale of Love Island, and we had Serena and Cordell who won. And it just like, I mean, it blew up. I mean, the show is insanely popular. So then in the month of August, this was the Paris Olympics. We had Simone Biles, who obviously crushed it. We had Steven, who did the pommel horse. We had Alona with rugby, and that, you know, led them to become stars on Dancing with the Stars. We also had the D23 convention, where they announced the new Villains Land they're doing, Monsters, Inc., all of that really fun stuff that I'm so excited to see. And then in the month of September, it was the Bachelorette finale, and that was with Jen, who, you know, picked Devin, and then he, you know, left her, and then that led Jen to being on Dancing with the Stars. So what a crazy year for Bachelor Nation, am I right? And then we also had it announced that Kendrick Lamar is going to be performing at the Super Bowl 2025. Go Kendrick Lamar. Drake is literally crying in his bed right now. Probably not, but anyway. And then this was also the month that Dancing with the Stars was underway. What a great season of Dancing with the Stars. It was so amazing. We also had the 8-year-old who took her mom's car to Target. What a story that was. Oh my gosh. That was probably another one of my favorite stories of this year. The month of October, Charli D'Amelio, she made her Broadway debut in Juliet, which actually my husband and I, when we were in New York City, we passed the Broadway show where she was in, and that was so cool to see. We had the TikTok rug girl who went viral, but turns out there was no dead body. It was literally nothing. It was just a rug. November, we had the Disney Channel gang who all got back together for the Wizards premiere, which also, that was a great show. It was classic old Disney Channel with the laugh tracks and really cheesy, dumb jokes. We also had Starbucks announce that they were going to not charge extra for different milks. Thank you, Starbucks. And then we also had the whole Brianna Chicken Fry, Zach Bryan drama. That was a lot, guys. That was a lot. And then we had the Mike Tyson, Jake Paul fight. That was rough, guys. What else? December. Joey and Jenna won Dancing with the Stars. Thank God. Thank God. I'm so upset, though, because Joey's not on the date I'm going to see Dancing with the Stars live, so that's fine. Whatever. Anyway, and then also this is the whole Brianna Chicken Fry and Grace O'Malley, who are no longer friends, their whole friendship breakup. I'm curious to see what's going to happen in 2025 with Grace, and also if they're going to get talking again. Does anyone know? I don't know. We also had Trisha go on Saturday Night Live. Queen, love her. So happy and proud of her. And of course, the biggest news, you know, that ended this whole year, Blake Lively sued Justin about, you know, sexual assault and just being a creepo, and we'll see what comes out of that in 2025. So those are the top stories that we chatted about this whole entire year. Obviously, there were so many more stories. It was very hard to pick out the highlights, but again, just go back and, you know, look back at some of your favorite ones and episodes, and let me know what your favorite story was that we chatted about, because there were some good ones, some really good ones. All right, so now we're going to get into just our 2024 recap. We're going to be talking about the top movies, TV shows, songs, books, celebrity couples and breakups, and also the top Amazon products of this year. This is probably one of my favorite things to look at, because it just is a reminder of, you know, what was going on this year. All right, so first for our top movies, I did the top 5 movies, and if you want to try and guess, I'm going to start from number 5 and go up to number 1. So number 5 was Despicable Me 4. It earned $361 million. Number 4 was Moana 2. That one earned $376 million. Number 3 was Wicked, and they earned $404 million. Number 2, Deadpool and Wolverine, they earned $636 million. And number 1, can you guess? If you said Inside Out 2, you would be correct. It earned $652 million, and it was also Pixar's most profitable film domestically. Alrighty, our top TV shows. The first one, Abbott's Elementary, had their 4th season, and it had 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. English Teacher received 98% Rotten Tomatoes, and he also went viral on TikTok because he was doing this like little viral TikTok dance, and everyone was like, wait, is he actually hot? So that was supposed to be a really good show that I actually have on my content plate for 2025. Nobody Wants This with Kristen Bell. So good. I still need to finish, I think, the last couple episodes. Contemplate, Taylor, Contemplate, they got 94% Rotten Tomatoes. Bridgerton Season 3, that was the scandalous season, the spicy season. Oof. steamy in here now, but they received 87% Rotten Tomatoes, and what a good season it was. Ted TV adaptation received 73% of Rotten Tomatoes and actually surprised fans by how good it was. Let me tell you, my husband and I watched this show and it was so freaking good. I'm so excited. I need them to come out with a second season. Guys, it's so funny. Go watch it. It is so funny. And last but not least, Yellowstone season 5. That was the most watched episode in their show's history for the season 5 finale, and it got 79% on Rotten Tomatoes. So those are the most watched, most popular. Again, everyone, of course, has their own opinion, but just ratings-wise, this is what popped up. Alrighty, our top 5 songs. Again, you can try and guess. I'm going to go from number 5 to number 1. Number 5 is my number 1, okay? And that is Shaboozey's A Bar Song. It received more than 1.69 billion on-demand global streams. It spent 19 weeks at number 1 on the Hot 100, and it tied the record that was set by Lil Nas, his Old Town Road in 2019, which is also a really good song. But I'm sorry, A Bar Song will never get old. It will never get old, and I hope it wins. What's the next award show coming up? Is it the Grammys? Because I really hope he wins. Like, so bad. Because he didn't win at the CMAs, which was so dumb. All right, number 4. Billie Eilish, Birds of a Feather. It hit number 2 on the Hot 100, and it was easily one of the go-to songs of the year. Countless fans used it on social media to soundtrack their happiest moments of 2024, and this song is everywhere. Number 3, Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso. This was, I would say, by far the most addictive song of 2024. It's everywhere. I know all the words, and I've never listened to it myself, so there you go. Number 2 is Chappell Roan's Good Luck Babe. This is her first top 10 hit, and I don't think it's going to be her last because she really, exploded this year for sure. And number 1, and we've talked about it before already in this episode a couple times, Kendrick Lamar, Not Like Us. This was his 4th Hot 100 number 1. It broke the record for most weeks at number 1 on Hot Rap Songs with 25 weeks. It also got 5 nominations going into the 2025 Grammys, including Record and Song of the Year. And then obviously come February, he is going to take Not Like Us, hopefully, all the way to the Super Bowl, baby. Let's go. I'm so excited for him. All right, our top books. So I just looked on Goodreads to see what was added the most to people's want to read and what was highly rated the most on Amazon and Barnes & Noble, I believe. So the first one was Funny Story by Emily Henry. The next one was The Woman by Kristen Hanna. This was also really popular when I looked at Amazon, Barnes & Noble. This book was everywhere, and I never heard of it, but The Woman, if you've read it, there you go. Just for the Summer by Abby Jimenez. First Lie Wins by Ashley Elston. The Teacher by Frida McFadden. I need to text my friend right now, actually, and tell her this is on there because I just read The Teacher last week. I've been trying to read all of her books because I read The Boyfriend. So freaking good. I thought I knew the whole entire time. No. And The Housemaid is so good. So I read The Teacher. What the hell was she thinking with that plot? You guys, if you've not read it and you want to read it, close your ears for like 15 seconds, okay? But literally, guys, the twist was that the main husband and wife, they were both like pedophiles and like dating like high schoolers. And they didn't know each other was, but they like, gross. How do people like this? Okay. Anyway, I was shocked when I saw that because no. No. House of Flame and Shadow by Sarah J. Maas, which I'm actually starting the first book of this series because I read obviously ACOTAR and Throne of Glass, so I was surprised to see that on there. And then A Housemaid is Watching, which is the 3rd book, and A Housemaid, the first one, is so good. Go read it. It's amazing. But yes, I'm trying to read a lot of hers. I'm making a list right now and ranking like my favorite ones, like from best to worst, and The Teacher, literally the worst. The worst, you guys. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and do the top Amazon products. And this is from explodingtopics.com. And they basically look at how many times a product is searched and like sold. So number 1, which we talked about this back in 2023, snail mucin. So this gets over 300,000 searches a month, and in over 5 years, it has grown over 1,000%. So I remember I used to use snail mucin, but then it was breaking me out, so I can't use it anymore. But it's still clearly very popular. Next is creatine gummies, which I guess are just the chewable alternative to just like a normal creatine supplement. I don't know how people really would do it otherwise, but this gets 60,000 searches a month, and it has grown like 99 times what it used to be searched. Next is lion's mane powder. This is exploding right now. It gets 135 searches a month. It has grown in the last 5 years 1,300%. So lion's mane, which it's funny because I have lion's mane pills downstairs, but it comes from a lion's mane mushroom, and it supposedly helps with memory, faster nerve cell recovery, reduced inflammation. It basically, from when I was researching, it's kind of like a nature's Adderall. Like, it just makes you focus. So I have some downstairs, and I just thought it was funny that powder now is the most searched. All right, next, a hair wax stick, 90 searches, not 90,000. Oh my gosh, I'm so bad with numbers. Yeah, I mean, both my mom, my sister, me, I mean, I know everyone, I swear, has a hair wax stick, and it's just to kind of help those little flyaways. And then this is no surprise, lip glow oil. Everyone was looking for the Dior lip oil dupe. I have it, so, you know. Next is lash clusters. This gets 165,000 searches a month. I buy lash clusters like 3 times a month. I like the Kiss and Press ones if you're looking. So, okay, next, and even when I listen to a podcast, I swear this is an ad everywhere, mushroom coffee. This gets 368,000 searches a month. It has increased in growth by 1,000%. Basically, people are saying it helps with stress and anxiety. Anything with mushrooms, though, just kind of freaks me out. So I don't know. Really quick, I'll just go through some others. Oversized gym shirt, metal detox shampoo, portable charger, tallow cream that has beef fat. Okay, that's just stupid. Yeah. All right. But there you go. Those are some of the best-selling products on Amazon. So hope you enjoyed, everyone. Okay, and then lastly, we're just going to quickly go through some of the most famous celebrity couples and most famous celebrity breakups that happened in the year of 2024. First up, we had Landon and Charli D'Amelio breakup. I was genuinely shocked when I saw this, so that was kind of sad. And then we had Joe Jonas and Stormy Bree breakup. We had Bobbi Althoff, who divorced her husband. I still want to know what happened with that and how she's doing. Brittany Snow and Tyler Sandilands divorce. We saw that coming. If you've seen that, you know, whatever show he was on, he was flirting with the other girl. Hate him. Aspen Ovard and Parker Ferris divorce. And honestly, like, if you follow her on TikTok, I'm so over her. I had to unfollow her because all she's doing is like talking about her divorce, but like just being so like, you know, just wanting views for it. And I can't with it. So I had to unfollow her. Gary and Teresa from the Golden Bachelor divorced after 3 months. That was kind of funny. Addison Rae's mom, Sherry, got married to the high school coach. Very happy for her. Ben Affleck and J-Lo divorce again. I can't keep up with them. I don't know if this is true again, but Sabrina and Barry, pretty sure they broke up right this year. I don't really know. Billy Ray Cyrus and his wife, they got divorced after only 7 months married. We also had Cardi B and Offset announce their divorce, and she also announced her third baby. So queen behavior for her, honestly. Dakota and Taylor Frankie Paul from The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives are broken up as well. We also had Kristen Cavallari and Mark Estes break up. We had Channing Tatum and Zoe Kravitz split up. There's so many breakups. Like, I feel like there's always way more breakups than like couples who get together. I guess because so many couples it's like a fling, or we don't really hear about it until they're like engaged, and then they normally break up. But anyway, Shaun White and Nina Dobrev got engaged. Also, Josh Allen and Haley Steinfeld got engaged, and the happiest couple, Selena and Benny, got engaged. Yay! And then we learned that Joe Burrow and Olivia are, you know, supposedly hooking up from that story. So, I don't know. That's just what I heard. And then, I don't know if they got together this year, but Gigi Hadid and Bradley Cooper are still going strong together. So, good for them. What else? I mean, what a year, guys. This really was a great year. It was the year clearly of pregnancies and divorces. So, I wonder what's going to happen next year with that. And yeah, that is everything we have 2024 recap wise. I hope you guys enjoyed. This was seriously so much fun to kind of look back at. And I'm already so excited for like next year, 2025, to recap it, because it's just going to be so exciting. And Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I hope you guys have an amazing New Year's Eve and New Year's. Do something to check off your list that I mentioned because it's going to make you feel a lot better. And I'm so excited to be going into the new year with you guys. Again, I post all of my episodes on YouTube, so go subscribe to that. It's Literally What Podcast. What else? The TikTok, Literally What Podcast. Follow the Instagram. If you're watching this on YouTube, go give it a thumbs up and subscribe. If you're listening on Spotify, just go up to the top and just hit the 5 stars. Apple Podcasts, just whatever you're feeling before the new year, go ahead and, show some love, or else he's going to get you waffles because he's literally staring at the screen. He's so crazy. You guys also, 2025, I'm not going to tell my husband about this, but I low-key want another dog. So maybe we'll get one. Maybe we won't. I don't know. But I love you guys seriously so much. I'm so excited for this next year with you guys. And I hope everyone has an amazing rest of the year 2024. Yeah, I guess that's everything. I love you guys so much. And we will see you back here next week in the year 2025 for some more hot gossip, hot take stories, and advice that will have you saying, literally what? Bye, guys.